Hello, the Money Wizard here, and welcome to the second video in this series that will demonstrate the power of the Money Wizard that can be downloaded onto your iPhone. In this video, we're going to look at what you need to retire comfortably and how the Money Wizard can help you. Firstly, let's get a few facts straight. Inflation is real, and it's like rust getting into your precious car, eroding the beautiful value of money over time until it becomes unworthy of what it was meant to achieve. So we always have to beat inflation. For instance, if you go into the investment section of the Money Wizard and click on Fund, that's what we want to find. Now enter $100,000 as the future value. You have $100,000 now, and then enter 4% as the return. That is the average rate of inflation over the last 20 years. And 20 as the term. Click Calc. The value of your $100,000 in 20 years' time is $45,638. You have lost over half the purchasing power of your money to inflation. A catastrophe. In order to get a real handle on what a successful and happy retirement will look like, we have to understand what a happy day, month, and year costs us. We can only do this by looking at our current spending patterns and assume, once our debts have been cleared, that this or a bit more will be the running cost of your life in retirement. Once we know this, we can work out how much we need when we retire, in general, at first. To work out the fund you will need, take your calculated cost of living, let's say $70,000. Go into the Money Wizard Life of Capital section and enter this in the drawdown. Click Capital. That's what we want to find. Enter a term of 25 years, that is age 65 to age 90, the average retirement age and mortality of an adult male. Now enter a rate of 5%, the average return we should get on our fund over our retirement, and enter escalation of 4%, the average rate of inflation as we want our income to grow with inflation. Click Calc. We need $1,563,867 to experience this retirement. Okay, now we know how much we need. How do we get there? First, we have to see how much gas is in the tank before we try to fill it up. Let's estimate the value of some of the assets we already have that is supposed to fund our life in retirement. Here's an example of how to forecast the value of an asset you hold, say an investment in a balanced mutual fund. Go into the investment section of the Money Wizard and enter the amount you invested in the fund section, let's say $30,000. Now enter the expected rate of return. We will estimate 6.5% for a well-managed balanced mutual fund. And the term to retirement, let's say 20 years to retirement. This will give us $105,709. Okay, that's part of the tank filled. We need to do that with all of our assets, and some may be tricky. For instance, an existing employer pension fund, but all should be included. We know the fund we need. We know the fund we should have based on what we're doing now, but subtracting one from the other, we know the gap. Now let us work out what we should be doing. Depending on the tax breaks available to you, this number may change, and the tax advantages to different people is beyond the scope of this video. So we'll work out this assuming there's no tax advantage to you saving in a pension fund. Open the Money Wizard in the investment section. We have a fund of, let's say, $400,000 at the moment calculated from the previous exercise. So enter this in the fund. Click Payment. That's what we want to calculate. Now enter the fund that we need, that we calculated earlier, which is $1,560,000. The rate of return we will get on our savings will depend on what we invest in, and investment profiling is beyond the scope of this video, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a rate of 6%, reasonably conservative. We have 20 years to go to retirement, so we need a term of 20. This shows we need to save $592 per month. This may be lower depending on the effect of tax breaks. If we escalate the payment, that is, keeping our payments increasing with inflation of, say, 4%, our saving needs are $428 per month. Not too difficult, as we want to accumulate $1.5 million. This level of savings can change dramatically depending on the level of risk, the rate of return, and the years we have to save, term, and the lifestyle we want, drawdown. Play with these until you find the retirement profile that suits you. That's all for now. Check out our other videos to learn even more about financial calculations.